Welcome to Dispatches From Shedquarters. This is Mike.
And Jason.
You have food rules that you have broken.
Yes. So here I am. I've got aloe vera drink. Okay.
Aloe vera drink.
Something we discovered a while ago. Xander's a big fan, and I've grown a taste for it. It breaks one of my first food rules.
Yeah.
And I don't have very many food rules.
Yeah, okay. Right off the hop, I can tell it breaks it because there's floaty chunks in it.
Exactly. That's my rule number one is no floaties. A rule that stems from, do you remember that short-lived drink, Orbits?
Yep. I know.
Yeah, that shit was disgusting.
Yep. And I'm doing that.
Yeah. And
there's no floaties in this one.
And you're drinking that. This is the one you drank last week, isn't it?
Yes, this is the Fax Amber.
Fax Amber.
My last one. I got to go get some more. Actually, I discovered a new one that blew my mind. It was really good. I went Friday after work. I went to London to my friend's place. What we starting to get in the habit when I'm on the week that I'm on days, I'll go to London. I'll go do hot yoga with my friends.
Okay, what is hot yoga?
Exactly like it sounds. You're in a room, and the room is preheated.
Okay.
Like the Friday yoga is called yin yoga, but it's not hot, it's warm.
Okay.
The room is heated up to 91 degrees.
Okay.
And then you do an hour yoga class. The hot yoga is pushing 110, 120.
Jeez.
It's hot.
So it's like doing yoga in a sauna.
For all intents and purposes, yes.
Huh.
And you sweat like as soon as you walk in, because like the class starts at 5:30. We get there early, put the mats down, and we have these towels, which you kind of really need.
I would think so if you're in that warm of conditions.
With these towels, they have on the one side they have like silicone beads.
Okay.
So you put them down on your yoga mat, so the you don't slide.
Kind of like a bath mat type of thing.
Exactly.
With traction.
Some traction like that. Because the first time I did the hot yoga, I didn't have the towel, and you sweat so much. And I was backing off because my hands and my feet were slipping on my mat, and I'm just going like, I'm going to like eat shit like when my hands are going to like shoot off to the side, and then I'm just like going to face plant into my mat. So my friends had these towels, and I went, where did you get those? They said, dollar store. I went, really? Of all the places.
It's surprising what the dollar stores carry nowadays.
Yeah, it really is, because they went, yeah, we got them at the dollar store.
For something simple like that, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so
like you can find, your basic little barbells just for like small arm curls and stuff like that. You can find those foam blocks.
Yep.
You can find all sorts of neat little workout pieces at dollar stores now.
Now the thing, you can't do it on the fly.
No?
No.
Okay.
I just checked. Anyways, but I think that's a setting that you have to do before you hit record. Anyways, so yeah, Friday night we did yin yoga. There was myself, my two friends, and two other friends joined us. Who's
the instructor?
I don't know, whoever. We go to this place called Moto Yoga in London, West London, and from there we were going to go back to my friend's place. I stopped off and I grabbed some beer, and we were having beer and pizza after yoga because it's all about the balance, And I got this. I was looking in the beer store, and I was
Let me get it with organic keto pizza.
No, it was Domino's. It was good. A lot of meat lovers too.
There we go.
So
get that protein.
Got to get the protein in. Got to rebuild. Oh, that reminds me. Never mind. Going through the beer store, they had like the serve yourself shelves kind of deal.
Yeah.
I'm going through this. Yeah. They had this. There was a case kind of at the far end, and I'm going like, well, that's interesting.
Secret stash?
I don't know if it's a secret stash or it was something that was brand new, but it was called Sneaky Weasel.
Hence why it was hiding.
Yeah. Sneaky Weasel Strong Lager.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Yeah?
I had never heard of this stuff before. I can't even begin to tell you where it was brewed or any, like, I can't even remember the name of the
Sneaky Weasel makes it sound like it's like a redneck thing.
No, I don't know. It might be, but he said it was really good.
That's Joe Bob in his back garage.
Yeah, that could very well be, but it was really good. It was a strong beer, so strong, but I think it was only like 5.6, and anything over 5 is considered strong.
Okay,
so in this 5. So
okay,
but that was. Then
Sneaky Weasel.
Sneaky Weasel. I gotta try and see. I'm gonna see if they have that in one of the stores here, because it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I surprised the shit out of me that I actually did like it, because there's been so many times I try a different beer.
I've seen your Facebook posts. You have an afternoon where you've got a selection. I actually came to visit you one day when you were doing something like that. You had like 4 different ones, and
yep.
Nope, don't like that one. Nope.
No, there was a.
Do you find more misses than hits, or vice versa?
The scale that I operate on is there's a very narrow window of I'm going to pour this out in their driveway.
Okay.
And a lot of things.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised that's even an option for you.
No.
You really do strike me as the type of no beer goes to waste.
I will never power through a bad beer.
Okay. All right.
Like there's good beer, questionable beer, and then there's just straight up bad beer. And like I will not force myself, like just because I opened it and I spent maybe.
And you're not pouring it out for the homies.
No, I'm just like, this shit's got to go. So there's been a couple where it was just like, yeah. One of them was a creamsicle flavored beer.
I was here for that one.
Yeah, so that was like, I was questioning myself why I purchased that.
That's where you start to lose me. Like when that shit started, and it makes me think of the classic Dennis Leary bit. Not from No Cure for Cancer. I think it was from his second one, where he talks about going and getting the Sam Adams. The Sam Adams kit. Yeah. Yeah, and the cranberry ale. Yeah.
Yeah. That there was
like just knowing the taste of beer.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything, in my mind at least. I'm admitted that my beer palate is pretty limited, but I can't think of any other flavor that's going to go with that.
You'd be surprised. You really
maybe
would.
I'm sure there's probably going to be some exceptions, but in my limited experience, I haven't found anything that really where a beer, like other than your light lagers, your Coors Light, your puppers, those ones are drinkable to me. The flavor isn't too off-putting for me.
No, because it's a basic lager.
When you start getting into there, like Sons of Kent does nothing for me because I can't get those flavors. Don't work for me.
You would do best with a Flywheel.
I think I've had that one, and as I recall, it wasn't bad. But again, it's not one that I like that. Like
no, but of the beers that you've listed as like the stuff that you like Coors Light, puppers, and shit like that, the Flywheel Blonde is as close to as a air quote generic lager that you're going to get out of Suns. And I think they made that just for the people that go like, I'm a Coors Light fan and I can't drink your beer because it scares me. So
they made it for me.
Yes, they made it for you and my brother. And my brother drinks Michelob Ultra. It's diet beer.
I've seen the commercials.
Yeah, exactly what it is. I posted a picture of one of the beers I was having the one day, and he posted a picture of this Michelob Ultra. And then I posted a picture of a dude drinking a 5-gallon pail of water. I said, "Yeah, that's the exact same thing that you're doing." So,
you're a beer elitist.
No, I'm not. I'm not a beer elitist. I'll drink any kind of beer.
You just get judgmental when other people don't.
No, I'm not judgmental.
You sending him a picture of a bucket of water?
Oh, okay. See, you can't bust your brother's balls about the shitty beers that he drinks.
I'm just saying that's elitist.
That's not elitist.
Okay. Whatever you need to tell yourself to sleep at night.
Tell myself. Whatever. I don't have to tell myself anything to sleep at night. One thing I am probably going to get the fuck out. So how's that? My house.
Like last night.
That's right.
I didn't tell you last night because I was saving for the podcast. Yes. I had a funny situation prior to coming. So we did our gaming thing last night. Okay. Yep. That's what we keep talking about last night. Crystal asked me to go get her a bottle of wine.
Okay.
So I go out to the Lickbow out St. Clair.
Yep.
There's an older dude busking right outside the door of the Lickbow.
That's weird. They don't usually allow that.
Well, there he was sitting there, right?
Okay.
Now, he's like right to the left of the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not. It's not. There's no distance or anything. There is a car parked right there because there's a space. There's a car backed up there. Thought nothing of it. I go into the store. I get what I needed. I come back out. And then I was messaging Crystal to make sure she didn't need anything else or whatever. While I'm sitting there, I see him. He finished whatever song he was playing, which was, he had a harmonica and I got the unemployment blues or something like that. Uh-huh. I'm not joking. That's the words that came out of his mouth.
I believe you.
He opens up the back hatch of that car that's sitting right there and gets a drink. This car was a newer model, like within the last couple years, Toyota. A much nicer car than mine.
Yeah. You're in the wrong line of work.
Dude, you're out there busking. You got the unemployment blues. Sell your nice fucking car.
No.
I'm driving a shit box
he bought that.
I love. I love my shit box.
He bought that car with his busking, singing the unemployment blues.
I highly doubt that.
I fully expect. Okay, there's been many times where I've seen homeless dudes in Toronto with iPhones.
Oh, I've seen that.
Okay, so you can't be crying the blues about being that broke if you got cell phone coverage.
Yeah.
So
it baffled me to see that he's got a nicer car than me.
No, man. I said a lot of these guys, these buskers, actually make good money.
It sounds like con work is what it sounds like.
It's carny work.
Carny work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're fleecing the sheep, you're fleecing the marks, getting the money out of them. That's exactly what I'm. That's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah. It bugged me.
Why
to see that?
Why? He's living his best life.
Sure. Yeah, I get it. It's just.
You're jealous.
A little bit. I bust my ass and I have next to shit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Apparently.
You're doing it wrong.
Apparently.
So you need to sort your shit out.
I need to get some more baby mamas and give it on welfare and shit.
Did he have baby mamas hanging around? Then why are you
I'm going in
assuming?
a different direction.
Oh, you want to become a welfare recipient?
Sure.
Okay.
I know people that are 3 generations deep into that shit, professional welfares.
I know. Like I said, this town was built on that bullshit.
Pretty much.
This is no surprise that.
Maybe you might remember, when did Navistar close?
Oh.
I saw something on Facebook and it kind of baffled me.
Was it early 90s?
It's been a long time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would people still be getting T4s from Navistar?
Pensions?
Okay. I hadn't thought of I wasn't sure the logic there.
Yeah.
I just saw somebody on Facebook, hey, did anybody else from Navistar get their T4s? I'm like,
yeah.
That place has been closed for like 15 years at least.
They're still getting their pensions.
Okay.
They still have to pay taxes on their pensions.
Okay.
A lot of those people managed to get the 30 years and they got out just in time. And that was a lot of the big fight was the parent company wasn't going to honor the pensions. And the union, CAW and UAW, just raised holy hell to get these pensions reinstated, because they're like, these people worked honestly, they retired honestly, and you close the door behind them, and then you cut them off, and you're still in business. That's bullshit.
Yeah, because they didn't close it going out of business. No. They just closed it because they moved everything out to wherever.
Mexico.
Yeah.
So they outsourced the Canadian.
I've never been in a situation dealing with that sort of thing, so it really confused me how that was. Yeah. So I hadn't thought pensions. So all right, that makes sense.
It's just pension checks.
Okay.
So there you go. And now you know. Ding. Ding. So. What else you got? Okay, let's go back to your slimy juice here.
Yeah, so that's my first rule is no floaties, but I do dig this stuff. It's tasty,
even with the floaties. I don't think I've ever had that.
It's kind of it really is no different than drinking orange juice with pulp. It's not a whole lot different, although these floaties are a little bit thicker, almost like
you are not selling me on that.
Well, no, it's more like I can't even describe it. I almost want to say almost like a juice pod, like they kind of pop a little bit.
Okay,
a little bit.
Still not sold 100%.
They're tasty. I enjoy it.
All right. Is it thirst quenching?
Yeah.
No. So is it rehydrating?
I don't know that level. I just know I like it.
All right. And yes. No, because there's friends of mine, like the friends that I do yoga with, they are like addicted to coconut water. And I've
only tried coconut water once. I didn't see the draw. It didn't work for me.
No. And it was the same thing. The stuff that they gave me, here, try this. We like this. You like this too. And it had floaties in it. And it's like, no. And like.
Yeah, coconut water to me had no flavor.
Yeah. This
is very sweet.
Sweet. Let's check the nutritional life. No. You just got over the fucking plague, right?
I'll live dangerously. Come on now.
No. No.
Come on, be a man.
No. I have something important coming up.
That's true.
So
that's true.
The less risk I take.
All right.
Do you know why it's sweet?
It's got probably a lot of sugar.
Yeah. So this is. How many was that? 500 mil? 500 mil.
Yeah.
11 grams of sugar for 200. So there's 22 grams of sugar in that bottle.
Yep.
I don't know if it's added sugar or.
I don't know. I'm kind of under the impression that it's kind of natural, but maybe I'm wrong.
You need the nutritional breakdown of aloe vera to begin with to find out if it has a bunch of natural sugars in it. But 22 grams, that's right into soda pop territory of sweetness. I've been the last little while. I said I've been especially doing the yoga has gotten me into that healthy frame of mind kick now that we're coming out the back end of winter.
Famous last words.
No, I know. Like I said,
it won't surprise me if we get one more blast at some point.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
And like I said, it'll probably be like a mid-March polar vortex, and it's just like, didn't see this coming, did you?
The real snow is still coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's going to be like, what did they say, 8 degrees tomorrow? 8 degrees Celsius?
Supposed to be really nice all week, like pushing spring type.
And then the temperature's gonna drop again, and everybody's gonna get sick again, and we're gonna get hit with like 6 feet of snow. And,
it's bound to happen. But I've been consciously trying to switch over my diet. Gaming night does not help.
No, it doesn't.
Listen, Mags goes, where was it? She was going out last night before gaming. And she goes, do you want anything? I said, can you bring back gaming snacks? She goes, no. I go, come on. She goes, what do you want? Candy or chips? I want candy. She goes, I'm not getting you candy. I said, come on, it's gaming snacks.
But Mom.
That's about it. So she goes, oh, but you share. I said, yeah. She goes, okay, I'll get you a little bit. So that's what last night she got that stuff.
Chocolate covered almonds and yogurt covered friggin' pretzels and then the jujubes.
Yep, and
that's my biggest weakness.
Yeah. Because it turns into mindless munching. And
you don't even realize you're doing it half the time.
Right. Because we'll be talking and we'll be focusing on the game, and you just we had 4 bowls.
Yep.
4 bowls of shit in the middle of this table. And it's just like you grab a handful and you just fire it down the hatch and just
I'm gonna shoot him.
Yeah. And it's just like that needs to change. And
I was trying to stay away from it. I really was.
Yeah.
But last night it was there, and it's like muscle memory. It's
a bad habit that we all have to break. Parker, watching him get these fucking things away from me, because him eating all those chocolate covered almonds wouldn't have been that hard to a thing to imagine.
Everybody has their weakness.
Oh, I know. And he got the 1-2 punch last night with the yogurt covered pretzels as well.
I'm not as much of a fan, so I only had a couple of those.
Yeah.
So those I've never been a huge pretzel guy.
Not a pretzel guy, huh?
No, the only pretzels I do enjoy are the Snyder's pretzel bites that are like honey mustard.
Oh, yeah.
And that's more so because of the honey mustard flavor
so
and
you
whatnot.
Suck the flavor off and spit the pretzel
I don't know.
back into
I
the
still
bag.
eat the pretzel, but
damn it!
But I do.
I'm committed
I haven't
now.
had those in a while. But those are the only pretzels that I will buy once in a while.
Combos?
No, never been a big fan of combos.
Okay.
Nah, never really got a taste for them.
Huh. Even the cracker ones? I know you're not a pretzel dude, but they do have like...
I don't think I've ever tried the
style.
cracker ones.
Yeah, they're like taco flavor, I think.
No, I don't think I've tried those.
You must try the vast rainbow of flavors of combos.
I'm sure there's probably a lot that we don't know about.
Dude.
If you go to the States, there's probably...
Oh, yeah. Well,
you always see that.
One of the guys that I know from Windsor Wrestling, he's a ring announcer for Impact. He had a show on 89X. He was Junk Food Jeff.
Okay. Yeah, I met him in London, I think it was.
He sells pops and all that other stuff. Yeah, so he was down in Texas about a month and a half ago for Impact, and he went to this is his thing. He searches out different types of junk food, and he does reviews on them.
Okay.
And he walked into, I think it was a Walmart down in Texas, and it was like a wall of Doritos.
Yeah.
And it was like all the different flavors of Doritos.
We have a lot here, but I'm sure they've got a few more. There's one flavor, though, that I was a huge fan of back in the day that's never come back unless they've brought it back and they call it something different. It was called Texas Tang.
Texas Tang.
Yes. Now we're talking 93, 94-ish, somewhere around there.
That's not.
I was working at the Shell gas bar at the time. I worked midnights in that gas bar in this little booth.
Yep.
Those came out. I loved them, but it was a short-lived thing. For one, they were limited time and they disappeared. But Crystal had to ban me from eating them. Really? Yes. So there was. I went about a week where almost every night I was eating a bag.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
But it's not the chips themselves. It's not the whole health factor. I was still young enough. That wasn't really the concern.
Yeah.
It was, so I was working midnights. I'd get home at like 7:30 in the morning. And at this point, we were freshly out on our own. Sky wasn't even a year old. So we had our own little apartment.
Yep.
I actually slept in Sky's bedroom. Crystal had Sky in bed with her.
Yep.
So I would sleep in Sky's bedroom so that I could sleep for the day, right? Yep. There I am. I got done my shift, and yes, I'd eaten a bag of those Texas Tang Doritos.
Okay, what did it taste like?
Kind of like a really tangy barbecue.
Okay.
So, yeah, almost like
tangy barbecue Doritos.
If I had to, and it's been so long, but I want to say it was like Cool Ranch meets barbecue.
Huh. So
kind of like that.
Could you take a Cool Ranch chip now, dip it in barbecue sauce, and down the hatch?
It might be similar. It might be. It's I you know what? I've never actually looked to see, you know, whatever, like what happened to it. What was it? Have they repackaged it? Because it's possible they repackaged it, call it something else. They've got so many flavors out there now.
Yes, they do.
But this is the last time I ever ate it.
Okay.
I got home and I went to bed. And Crystal came in at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon to wake me up. She opened the bedroom door, and this is what I get woken up to. Oh my God, what the hell are you eating? Apparently the entire room stank from my breath from these chips.
Fantastic.
I couldn't smell it. I was oblivious to it.
I know.
But apparently it almost dropped her.
You fumigated your daughter's bedroom.
And I never ate them again after that. And then they disappeared like a short time later. So I'm going to have to look up the history of the Texas Tang Dorito.
All right. My Dorito jam is Cool Ranch Doritos.
Okay.
And salsa.
Sure.
That is my.
I don't know if I've honestly never really dipped Doritos other than maybe in a queso, but.
No, I go with.
No, that's not true. Sorry. I remember going to a party where we had a taco dip and we bought Doritos instead of just tortillas. So, but that was just regular Doritos for that one, for the regular nacho.
That sounds good. Damn. So, I have to try that.
I recall, we bought the Doritos because there was a deal to buy Doritos 2 for $5, or we could buy one big bag of tortilla chips for $5. So we went with the Doritos.
Yeah, like I said, there's been times like the first time I discovered that flavor, I was in Grand Bend. My brother and his buddies were going skydiving. And I just went along to party for the weekend. They went off to go skydiving. I stayed back in the hotel and I was watching college football. I went up to the variety store at the road. I got some Doritos and I was like, salsa. And I sat there and ate the whole thing. Just nom 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 nom. And I was like, I like this. And from that point on, if I go get a big bag of Doritos, Cool Ranch, I'll always get a jar of that Tostitos salsa. And it's just like, I am such a disgusting pig right now, but I don't care. And that and a grape crush.
And a grape crush.
So there's a flavor combination you just don't normally see in nature.
No.
So
I'll be honest, it's kind of making my stomach do a little bit of a flip thinking about that. Like Cool Ranch with the salsa, sure, but as soon as you had the grape crush, my stomach's going.
Yeah, well, sometimes like variety is the spice of life, and
okay,
this goes.
Variety can also lead to a whole lot of vomit.
Not yet.
Heartburn.
No. Serious gas, yeah. But no vomiting, no regret.
I actually remember when Doritos came out with Cool Ranch. It's like it was huge news. Doritos was coming out with a new flavor.
Yeah, but they've actually improved Cool Ranch now. They've added more Cool Ranch-ness to it.
I have noticed that on the bag, new and improved or whatever.
Because for the longest time, it was like there was very little seasoning on those Cool Ranch. And it's just like, I'm eating a plain chip.
A little bit goes a long way kind of thing. Not really. No.
Not really. And I was like, this is bullshit.
You're waiting to get to the bottom of the bag because that's where all the leavings is.
You're digging through the chips and you find the golden one that's got super bombed like this. I'm like, oh, this is so good. But the new and improved Dorito Cool Ranch is much better. More seasoning on more of the chips.
Yes.
That, and then there's the zesty ones. I am a big fan of the zesty
Crystal
ones.
likes the zesty ones. I don't mind them.
Yeah.
But I know some people that absolutely hate them.
Ah, really?
Yeah. Tom Leatherdale in particular.
Really?
He thinks they smell like feet.
Huh.
If he's near somebody who's eating them, all he can smell is feet.
Note to self.
But then when you get into like the bowl, they have the bowls and then and spicy and whatnot.
Yes.
Like those are okay.
Yeah.
But I don't go to those. The only Doritos, I normally buy zesty for Crystal.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling squirrely, I will get Cool Ranch, but I like traditional nacho.
Yeah.
Or the sweet chili heat.
Yeah, that's good
Now
too.
that one kills the taste buds.
It's not that hot.
It's not hot, no, but it's, you know what? I'm almost wondering if sweet chili heat isn't Texas Tang when I think about it.
You might be onto something there.
It might be.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm researching this when I go home today.
All right. Was it the Dorito Roulette?
Yes. Yep.
They weren't. My association with Tobin has really colored my. Is it
Spice palette?
Spice palette? Yeah, because I had today the habanero chicken from McDonald's.
Yeah, I tried that yesterday.
It's not hot.
No, it wasn't.
It's not habanero.
Really, that sauce didn't taste a whole lot different from your typical like Southwest spicy sauce you'll find anywhere.
Exactly.
It really wasn't any different to me.
I'm again disappointed in the spiciness, just like I was disappointed in the spiciness of the quote unquote ghost pepper chicken wings from Popeyes.
I don't think
there was supposed to be.
Tried those. Yeah, I'm not sure if I tried those. We tried the ghost pepper wings at Krabby Joe's, and those
were ghost pepper.
Those will punch in the face.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I've tried the Popeyes.
Honestly,
not a big fan of Popeyes.
They weren't really that hot. I was like, ghost pepper. Okay, I'm gonna try it, and spicy, but not ghost pepper.
You've heard of that one chip challenge? That death chip.
Yeah,
you know that company. It's called Paqui, Pacqui.
Yes. Okay.
They had Crystal's work gets weird chips and whatnot. International stuff and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had that brand of ghost pepper, not Doritos, basically.
Oh,
we might even still have some, but I'd question if they're stale by now. I could only eat 5 or 6 of them.
Mags found some chips like that. I think they're ghost pepper.
This was the same brand that makes the one chip challenge, and I could only eat like 5 or 6 in a sitting. And that's my mouth was on fire.
Well, you said we had these chips up in the kitchen, in the bag. The bag is sitting on the counter, and we're all doing the mongoose around the cobra kind of thing. Like, I don't know about that. What?
This is kind of funny. I just realized Crystal brought home a bag of chips yesterday, and I think they might be tortilla chips.
Yeah.
But it's a mixed bag. It's got nacho and sour cream and onion, and it's got like 5 different flavors of chips in one bag.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All dressed.
Spotted at her work.
All right. Well, they do have some weird stuff on those shelves over in that store.
There's one thing that they got, and we bought every single bag they would get in. Haven't seen it since last summer. Stubbs. It's a brand of barbecue sauce that you'll see in most stores now. These were cheese puffs, barbecue flavor.
Oh. Really?
Can't find them anywhere. They would get like a case of them in.
Yeah.
We would buy the whole thing. We would buy them all. At one point we had, I'm pretty sure, 12 bags of these things.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They didn't last long.
Thanks for sharing.
They didn't last long.
No kidding. I really appreciate
I was only a few months deep into my bedtime medicine regimen. They didn't last long.
I have no self-control.
I don't. Shoot, I got home last night at 1 o'clock in the morning. Crystal was in bed. I had my medicine, and I didn't want to go to bed right away. I turned the TV on, and then I started munching.
There you go. What'd you get?
Oh, just chips. We had some sour cream and onion chips laying around. So.
Just lying around?
Yep.
Picked up the dog. Oh, hey.
No, I'm not going to eat my dog.
No, the chips were under the dog.
No.
You never know. Could have been.
She doesn't like chips.
No, okay.
Not those chips, anyways.
No.
No.
This episode is weird.
It is. It's very weird.
Right out of the gate, it got weird. Fuck. What else?
Lost your train of thought?
Yeah, your fucking train of thought left the station.
I know some people question when we talk about wrestling and all, but did watch AEW Revolution from last night.
Okay.
And it was a pretty solid pay-per-view.
Yeah.
For the most part. A few things that make me question their women's title match was a sloppy mess.
Oh, that was Nyla Rose versus
Chris Statlander. And I think it's mostly on Statlander's part, but Nyla Rose had her slip-ups too.
Well,
like there were some moves that, well, they'll put it this way. There was one move coming off the top.
Yeah.
Where her foot slipped, and it could have really ended badly. Luckily, they were able to recover and land fine, but it could have been ugly.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the only one. There were a couple spots like that.
I did hear Cody Rhodes has a new questionable tattoo.
Yeah. The American Nightmare
logo,
American flag kind of thing on his neck.
Yeah, that's weird.
I didn't think it was real, but I guess it is.
Yeah. You got all kinds of real estate on your body.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Okay. Not to say he's the most handsome guy, but you know, he has a pretty good facial features. The fact that he's not shy at busting his face open.
He did a gimmick called Handsome Cody Rhodes.
Right.
So
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Now he has that massive scar, but then again, that was that wasn't intentional. That really bad gash he got over his right eye. Yeah, he's got a good scar from that now. So I feel like, well, you know, the canvas is already ruined. Fuck it. You know, I think that's his mindset now.
See, for the amount of shit that Vince McMahon gets for the product that he puts out, there is got to be something said about the safety of blading, and like accidents happen. Mm-hmm. But AEW has brought back the blade, and some of that is just like
it gets a little excessive already
because we haven't seen it in a while. We're desensitized to it. That's a lot of that to it. But if it happens at an accident, if it's a hard way, you can't do anything about it.
Right.
But if you blade yourself to the point where like you're goofy because of lack of blood, that's a big time problem. Mm-hmm. That I've bladed once in my career, and I vowed after the time never to do it again because it's dumb. Like,
I'm not really a fan of it. Like I get it. These guys, you know, particularly when it's a real serious grudge match, this feud's been building and building and building. I can get what it means and what it does, but I'm really not a big fan of it.
No, I'll tell you.
There's been some disgusting scenes with blood in wrestling, particularly ECW days, but
blood has its spot in wrestling. It adds drama to, like you said, to if there's an issue that like a match has got to that point where it's now become a violent feud, blood ramps up the drama. I'll tell you a story that I was told about blading.
Okay.
There was a guy down in Ohio was very adept and very comfortable with blading himself. Blading yourself is cutting your forehead with a razor blade. There's no such thing as a blood pack or blood capsules that people would pop on their head and stuff like this. The only time you see blood pack or blood capsules used is if somebody's bleeding out of the mouth. That's the only time. And it's a condom filled with stage blood that they preload into the mouth. When they have to do that gimmick, they bite open the condom and spit out all the blood. But this guy was so used to blading, he would bleed in every match for no other reason than he liked to bleed. So he's in a match. A guy picks him up for like a belly to back suplex. He blades himself. So ideally, if you're going to blade yourself, you want to get it up by your hairline. You want to put a little gash in your hairline. This guy takes his blade and he goes all the way across the forehead.
Jeez.
So he thinks he's just opening up like a gash across his forehead. He takes the move. Where he got cut, the skin goes flip.
Oh.
There was maybe, I don't know, a quarter of an inch wide, 3 inches across, flap of skin, flap down. And we're just like, I was told that story and went, that's bullshit. And 2 people corroborated that story, and I'm just like, that's fucked up, man. But, everything for the show.
And you see guys like New Jack's forehead.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a cheese grater of scars.
Abdul the Butcher.
Yeah, another one.
He used to be able to take dimes and place them in the scar tissue in his forehead. Mm-hmm. It was like, it's like, no thanks.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was just, that's part of the show. But
I can remember, and there's a lot of bloody matches in wrestling history.
Flair had so many of them.
Yep, absolutely. Dusty.
Yeah.
There's one moment in particular that has always stuck with me. It was ECW.
Okay.
Not Steve Corino. Just Incredible.
Okay.
Versus Jerry Lynn.
Okay.
At least I think it was Just Incredible. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Whoever it was, Jerry Lynn was beating the hell out of him. The other guy was bleeding profusely. And at one point, Jerry Lynn takes his hand, wipes it across the guy's bloody forehead, and then writes "war" on his abs. In their blood.
Yeah.
That's like when you're finger painting with the guy's blood. Okay, that's a little much.
Yeah, I've seen different things like that happen. Like Japan back in the 80s and 90s got crazy. There was a thing, Muda did the faucet job. He bleeded himself so bad. He was on his hands and knees. He pushed up, and the blood was running from his head like you turn on a tap of water just a little bit. You know how you get the little stream? That was blood coming out of Muda's head. And we're just like, well, that's excessive right there.
I seem to remember Mick Foley talking about it in his first autobiography, talking about Harley Race could bust you open with a punch above your eyebrow that would bleed like that.
Yeah. Said Dreamer, actually, Harley was supposed to do that to Dreamer. And he, for whatever reason, Dreamer would flinch just as Harley was about to make contact.
Oh.
And Harley, because you're the bone is so close to the surface and the skin is so thin on the eyebrow right there, it's easy if you pop it right, it'll just pop open. It's just split open. Dreamer would flinch or whatever, and Harley's just smashing him in the face. And just like, finally, I think he got him hard weighed, just kind of over by the side of his eye, just stop hitting him. Just stop. But yeah, like I said, there's a time and a place for blood in wrestling.
Triple H versus Foley.
Yeah.
I think it was a Chicago street fight. H was bleeding profusely from his head, of course. Yeah. He was bleeding worse from his leg when he caught it on that pallet.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That was bad. I've seen the video of him getting stitched up in the locker room. Like his leg, it was a bad wound.
Yeah.
And
he was bleeding more from the leg than he was from his head.
Yeah. It's so bad. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about New Jack's felonious assault on mass transit. But if you're just go watch it. There's video of it. It's part of wrestling history now.
Yeah.
And it cost ECW a bunch of money to be in the future past that. Mm-hmm. Because that became a gigantic tripping point for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I remember watching that the first time. It was like, oh my God.
I've only ever heard the story, so I didn't see it at the time or anything. So
yeah, there's video of it, and it's just like, no.
I think I might have seen the video once.
Yeah, once is enough. It's it's
not what I'm going back to.
Yeah, it's just too much.
There's a lot of stuff from ECW that gets to be a little too much sometimes.
The end of the Tommy Dreamer Raven feud in the cage, where Dreamer handcuffs Raven to the cage, then gives him that unprotected chair shot to the head. That was crossing a line right there, because of like so dangerous with concussions and like head trauma like that is just, especially unprotected head chair shots to the head. Like I said, there's a reason the WWE has banned them. It's just so dangerous.
Yeah, Foley and The Rock.
Yeah.
When Foley was handcuffed, and The Rock kind of just went
into business for himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
ECW, though, a moment that scared the shit out of me was, as weird as it's going to sound, Spike Dudley versus Rhino.
Okay.
Spike managed to get the upper hand. I think chairs were involved or whatever, to the point where Rhino couldn't stand on his one leg.
Oh, okay.
Like Spike he chopped him down.
Yep.
It got to a point, the finish of the match, Spike came in, Rhino was against the bottom rope, not even in the corner, just on the side.
Yep.
Spike comes in to pick him up. Rhino reaches up, grabs him by the throat, and chokes him out. Just a straight up crushing his throat choke.
That's dangerous.
Exactly. That scared the shit out of me.
That's excessively dangerous, because when we were training at Tactical Edge, there's strangulation and then there's choking. Strangulation is when you cut the flow of blood off. That's what you want to do. When you choke somebody, that's when you cut their air off. And that's when you start doing damage to the esophagus and the throat.
That's what Rhino did to Spike.
Yeah, that's like that. It's permanent possibility of permanent damage, death right in there. Because if you're strangling somebody, they'll go out, and you let go, they'll come back around a lot quicker. But if you're like crushing a dude's throat, that's not good at all.
Mm-hmm. But that was extreme.
Well, they did live up to their name.
At least we don't, but we don't see too much anything like that anymore.
No, so you're starting to see a lot of MMA incorporated in pro wrestling.
That's what we saw with at that Revolution pay-per-view with Hager,
yes,
and Dustin, because what he ended up apparently it was a variation on a triangle or something, but it was like almost like they were hugging. They were face to face, and he had his
head and arm
around.
choke.
Yeah. That's how Hager beat Dustin was with that.
That's a legit MMA chokeout. So
I think I'd seen it once before. So I thought it was kind of neat. It was a good finish to that match.
It's a unique finish. You don't see a whole lot of standing chokes.
No,
and that's cool. I'll have to watch it. Did you bring over the?
No.
Damn fucking. You've got one.
What else
job.
was there? Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin.
Oh, that probably would have been our acrobatic.
Very acrobatic. One nasty, almost botch. I think they kind of saved it at the very end, but Guevara was over the railing on the outside, like stomach first, head facing into the ring.
Okay.
And Allin goes into the ring and comes out with a suicide dive.
Okay.
It looked like his feet caught the rope. Oops. It slowed his momentum to the point where he barely made contact, but it did look like his head made contact with his upper back.
Okay.
But it's almost questionable. It was the angle we saw it from. You could almost say he didn't even hit him, but it was close.
Oof.
But other than that, the match was pretty good. It was like you said, acrobatic for sure. Some really good spots with Darby Allin getting the win.
Huh. Cool. All right. Well, I did read some results, and they were saying the Darby Allin match Sammy Guevara match should have been the match that opened the show.
I would agree. Yes. Yeah. Why they put Dustin and Hager first, I'm not sure.
It's weird.
Especially considering it's we've been anticipating Hager's first match for so long.
Yeah.
Would have expected it to be a little bit farther into the card.
Anyways, weird.
The Young Bucks versus Hangman and Omega for the tag titles.
Now, okay. Before you get into that, there was a review. Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer News, like this, called that match, that tag, Bucks versus Omega Hangman, better than Misawa Kobashi.
Ooh, I can't stand for that. Like I don't know that match. I can't compare.
It is it is Meltzer marking out for people who named a move after him.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it is like a lot of people question Meltzer's credibility and stuff like this. But after listening to, like, I was told that comment came out of his mouth, I was just like, he's a shill, and it's terrible. Like, it's not. It might have been a good match, but you're talking two wrestling like gods that have had more 5-star matches, drawn more money. Like, they're national heroes in Japan. Mm-hmm. And to say that a tag match...
That sounds excessive. Yeah. I do not dispute that. What I can say from my experience watching this match, it was a great match. Mm-hmm. A lot of emotion, a lot of great storytelling, and the story is still not over.
Of course not, because they got more TV.
That's one thing AEW is they're really stretching out their stories.
Because they have a thin roster.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. They don't have much else to work with, so they're going to stretch it. Yeah. And they are. We still don't have full resolution. But it was a really great match with some real interesting takes. The Bucks were getting booed.
I read that they were moving in a more heelish direction. So
yes, but I wouldn't consider it a heel direction. They were doing what they needed to win. With the titles on the line.
That's the whole idea of a wrestling match.
Exactly.
Win the match, don't lose the match.
Why the fans were booing them, I get it, because they were targeting Kenny's shoulder.
Why? Okay.
So you're right. That's a bullseye. Well, that's what you need to do. You want to win the titles. You got to do what it takes. Yeah,
you want to win the match.
Right. The crowd was booing them for that, but they were doing what it takes to win the match. And to me, that was smart. And Nick didn't really want to. Matt was the one doing most of that.
Yeah.
So, like, even then, you got a little bit of, not dissension, but just a little bit of disagreement. They weren't quite on the same page. Hence, I think why we got the finish that we did. Hangman and Omega still the champs.
Okay.
Mostly because of Hangman, though, at the end.
Really?
Yes. Because Omega was beaten the hell out of.
Yeah.
Super kick party. They really fucked up his shoulder, so he couldn't hit the one-winged angel.
That's smart wrestling.
Hangman hit it.
Really?
Yes. He makes the hot tag, and he hit, I think, Nick with it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, to me, that means Hangman Page's finishers are weak, and the super over move is...
Well, the way after the match, okay, you had the Bucks and Kenny. They were talking things out. You know, they did their little handshake. Page still wouldn't come back in.
Okay.
Bucks leave the ring. Omega's in the ring. Page started leaving. He set the belt down and looked like he was getting ready to flip for the buckshot on Kenny.
Oh, okay.
And then didn't. Held the ropes open for him and helped him out. But the commentators even called it. Yeah. I think I saw that. Like, hinting that Page is getting close to turning on Omega. which when they lose the titles, which is probably going to be sooner than later, it's going to be Omega getting the pin, and Paige is going to get pissed off, and you're going to have the Paige Omega feud. Can see that coming a mile away.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why you wouldn't. Why stretch it out? Like
you said, thin roster. They don't have anywhere else to go right now, anyways.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that kind of makes sense. I'm just like.
But all in all, the match was great. Some great spots, great chemistry. The story played well. They really did. They did what they do best. Now, to compare it to a legendary match like that, maybe that's might be a stretch. I can't compare. But it was a really great match.
I'm sure it was like crazy athletic and
not just athletic, just it was a really great match.
The new wrestling, I would have to watch it.
To me, it was we saw the New Japan style because they told the story in that ring. They really did.
Yeah. The only problem with that claim is they don't have Jado.
No, but still they told a great story in that match.
Gedo is the story master of wrestling right now.
Sure.
And to say it was on that level, I don't know, man.
It was a great story. It worked for me 100%. Admittedly, I'm a big fan of the Bucks.
Really? What? Really?
Yeah, I know. I'm a big fan of the Bucks. I'm a big fan of all four of those guys.
Yeah.
So, because I think Hangman Page is going to be somebody. He's going to be around a while. Omega is still Omega, okay? Yeah. Whether we're getting to see it or not, we all know Omega is one of the best workers in the business today. He still is. You can't deny that. Come on now.
Okay.
That shit doesn't go away. Not that quickly.
Now, he was having those amazing matches in Japan with Okada.
True. Not just Okada, though. He had great matches with a few different guys.
Okay, yeah. But, again, I go back to...
Okada's the other side of that coin, yes.
New Japan, Okada, Gedo.
Sure.
Okay. Kenny Omega was Kenny Omega all the way up until he became Kenny Omega in New Japan. Now he gets into New Japan, he becomes Kenny Omega, right? Mm-hmm. And then he leaves New Japan and he goes back to being Kenny Omega. I don't see I don't see him doing the things that he did at the level he did them in New Japan.
I think that's on purpose.
That's dumb. Why would you do that?
Because everybody expected AEW to be like Jeff Jarrett's shit. It's the Young Bucks, Cody and Kenny, so they're going to be the top guys, yada, yada, yada.
They were the top guys in ROH, everywhere they went. They were the top guys, right? Yep. So you start your own promotion, right? Mm-hmm. And then you become not the top guys?
I think that's part of the story.
That's so fucking dumb.
I think that's part of the story, though. They're stretching themselves too thin, worried about the business aspect, that they're forgetting the in-ring aspect, or they're losing the in-ring aspect. I think that's all part of the story.
That's dumb. That is so dumb.
We're going to agree to disagree on that.
No, my thing is when they were in New Japan, the Elite was in New Japan, they had the proper bookings. They had the people that could work with those. And when you left that, they said they become exposed. They said if they made a promotion that's got a thin roster, and they said, well, we can't put ourselves over. You're not putting good people over. You are diminishing yourself and your product by not putting yourself at the top. You say, okay, Kenny Omega when he was in New Japan, he was on par with Okada. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Right. So he leaves, starts his own promotion, and he becomes Sad Sack Kenny Omega. Right? Mm-hmm. Do you want to see that?
No.
No, you don't. You want to watch Okada. Now, because Okada is great all the time, wherever he goes.
Whether he's the champ or not. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2 right now is Naito in New Japan. Okada is cemented at the top. Naito is like right there underneath him.
Yep.
If you took Okada out of New Japan and put him in AEW, would he be booked like Kenny Omega would be booked? No.
I would hope not.
No. Why? Because he's a fucking star. And you want your stars to still be stars. You bring in a bunch of guys, and okay, when Kevin Nash and Scott Hall left WWE to go to WCW, right?
Yep.
Did they book themselves to look weak?
No.
No. They killed everybody.
Quite literally, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I remember when Nash lawn darted Rey Mysterio into the trailer.
They killed everybody. Why? They got themselves over. They were the top guys. Why would you book yourself to look weak in your own promotion? I know it's a cliche that, oh, look at that. That's you're the promoter and the owner and you're the champion? Okay. Yeah, okay. You're trying to make yourself a star. So if you have your own promotion, don't book yourself to look like shit. Make yourself to look like Okada. And then you try to build people up to try to reach your level. They may not reach your level, but they're getting close. So you want an upward progression on this. You don't want a downward progression.
Hadn't thought of it that way.
That's why
I'm a mark.
Yeah. You look at it from a business point of view, is like if you started that promotion and you put the elite at the top and they were fucking crushing everybody, right? Mm-hmm. They have already were like leaving New Japan stars. They stay stars. And they're building people up, bringing them up. You now have more stars.
Yeah, I really hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I've just been, because I've enjoyed the story aspect of it.
Right.
Like I said, it's, are they stretching themselves too thin with all the business aspect that they're losing the in-ring side? Hadn't thought of the other way to think about that.
Yeah. The whole idea of professional wrestling is to make yourself a star. Why? More money. That's it.
Yeah.
They said, reading Al Snow's book, Al, you can be the best worker on the world. Al, it was a great worker, but he had a shitty career. Why? Because he always wanted to be the best wrestler on the show, not the guy that's making himself a star. Stars like The Rock, Steve Austin, are multimillionaires for a reason.
They've transcended because of what they did.
Because they made themselves stars. They've taken what Vince McMahon gives you an opportunity, right? As cliched as I'm giving you an opportunity. All right, think of this. The WWE currently probably has 60 to 80 guys on the main roster.
About that.
Okay. They have a 3-hour Raw. Okay.
Yep.
So that's 180 minutes of TV, roughly, right? Vince McMahon has to figure out how to fill 180 minutes. So he's going to put the people that will draw the most money on TV. And if he gives you, say, a 6-minute match, in that 180 minutes, that's designed to make the most money. That means Vince is giving you an opportunity to get exposure to make more money. If Vince says, I need you to be a plumber, you go out there and you be the best goddamn plumber possible. Why? Because then you go to shows and you sell a t-shirt that has a fucking plunger and your face on it. Right?
Yep.
That's the whole idea. This is not a competition. This is a business. Mm-hmm. There's, if you want a competition, go watch amateur wrestling or watch MMA. Professional wrestling is designed to have you make the most money you can with the opportunities that you are afforded.
Okay. So, moving on to the further into the card.
Okay.
There's a match that I know you would hate.
That would be Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Yeah.
Because you hate Orange Cassidy.
I do.
Yep.
But Orange Cassidy moves merch.
Yes, he does.
So does that make Orange Cassidy a better wrestler than me? Yep. He's a better professional wrestler than me. Why? He's on a pay-per-view. He probably sold tickets. There's people in that crowd. There's people that dress up like Orange Cassidy.
Yep.
Those people will go wherever Orange Cassidy, if he's close, they're going to go watch him. Mm-hmm. They're going to buy a shirt. They're going to buy sunglasses.
You may hate his gimmick. Like you may hate that he exposes the business.
Yeah.
But the fans love it.
Yeah.
And you can't fault him for that.
No, because he is rolling in the money.
Yep.
Literally. I watched the Pac thing, and I'm just like, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. But that's. But
Pac did win, so
yeah,
there is that.
Yeah,
which is as it should be. Cassidy did have some good moments.
During the rolling thing, when Pac was outside and Cassidy turned up the jets.
Yep.
I was like, okay, it's impressive when Cassidy wrestles.
Yes.
He moves really well.
I like that. As simple as it is, he does a flying hip toss with his hands still in his pockets.
I know it's dangerous.
I know, but it does look impressive.
Yeah. It's just some of the stuff is just. I don't like it personally because of my philosophy of wrestling, but. My philosophy means shit if I ain't cashing checks.
Right.
So
don't worry, you're cashing a check next week.
He's where he's at. I'm where I'm at. That should tell you.
You'll be cashing a check next week.
Well,
you're going to have a scrap. So
yeah, we're going to go have a scrap, but there's a vast difference of
absolutely yes
audience,
but still. You have a following.
Oh, I know. So. I do. I have 3 people.
Yep.
So
we're gonna be there.
I know, but if I had merch, that's only 3 T-shirts. That's not enough. I can't buy a boat on 3 T-shirts.
You don't know how to swim. What do you need a boat for?
I know how to swim. Just because I'm fat means I'm buoyant.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So, but it's just one of those. Reading the book and remembering some of the stuff, and it's just doing it wrong. Being the best wrestler on the show, sure, that's fine. That means you are skilled. You are a very skilled person.
But if you don't have what it takes to take that skill and sell it
to the next level, to be able to take advantage of an opportunity that's given to you. Shameless self-promotion should not be called shameless.
Like they've said, they used to say back in the day, Bob Holly was one of the best, mid-carders because he was a good all-around wrestler.
Yeah, he's a good hand.
But he never made it to the prime time kind of thing.
No. Why? Because either he just didn't have the charisma, or he rubbed somebody the wrong way.
I never fully understood, because once he started doing the hardcore Holly thing, it really took off for me.
Yeah.
Fuck the sparky plug shit. But hardcore Holly, that shit sold for me.
It did. Like I said, it fit the era that it was going into.
And then you're adding Crash.
Yeah.
Carrying the friggin' scale.
That dude. That Crash Holly is right in the same category as like Mikey Whipwreck for me.
Oh, yeah.
Just dudes that were there to just take a hellacious beating and then get up and take another hellacious beating and then get up and to just take beating after beating after beating. And they're just like, oh, would you just stop hitting that dude, man? But it's one of those. Holly was one of those guys. Like, he just didn't have it. Mm-hmm. He had something to, like, he was on TV a lot.
Well, he had a beautiful drop kick.
Oh yeah, good skills.
Yep.
So, but you need more than good skills.
In fact, I would put. I think Okada's style of drop kick is very similar to Holly's, because it's a full body extension.
Yeah. And
you don't see too many guys who do it that way.
No, the best drop kick I have ever seen was a guy, Doug Furness. He was
heard the name.
Yeah, he was a power lifter. He was back from late 80s, early 90s. Him and Phil LaFawn, they did the Can-Am connection. Like they did a lot of stuff in All Japan Pro Wrestling. Furness was 260, 270. He was a big dude, lots of muscle. He would whip a dude in. He'd walk up to the middle of the ring, jump straight up, drop kick a dude. As he's drop kicking the dude, then would backflip.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was an incredibly athletic move.
Wow!
Because this dude, he jumps straight up and goes boink, and then
he's springing off of them basically.
Yeah. You're like the first time I saw them, I went, holy crap!
And especially for a guy that size.
Yeah. He never realized how strong he really was. And then it was just like beat the living shit out of people and do this drop kick and like, look at me, I'm athletic. Then they left All Japan and they got hired into WWE. They had a small run there. Problem is they were crushing dudes. And the politics of the backs is like, I ain't working with those guys because they're killing everybody. So said after, I think it was like a month or two or something like that, says, Vince goes, thanks for your coming out, but yeah, you're cut. Simple like that.
Another guy that reminds me of when talking like that is Scott Norton.
Yeah.
Great big man.
Yeah.
Legitimate powerhouse from his arm wrestling days and whatnot. He never really got moved up past the mid card. Like, nope. I can't remember too many titles he ever held in WCW. He never worked in the Fed.
No, but here's the thing:
he was big in Japan.
He was huge in Japan, big enough to wear the IWGP title.
Yeah, I've seen. Oh, the heavyweight title.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was mainly known for tag over there.
He was IWGP heavyweight champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That tells you. New Japan appreciates good work. Mm-hmm. That's what gets you over in New Japan. When you come over to North America, WWE is basically the big game in town. You have to entertain. Like Scott Flash Norton, when he was in WCW, great on the mid card. Was never going to get any higher than what he got. No matter what happened. Like, he was in the NWO. He was with Buff Bagwell.
Vicious and delicious.
Yeah. So, good gimmick. Mm-hmm. Great gimmick. And you could sell all kinds of T-shirts like that. But Norton just didn't have...
Is he retired?
No.
No, he's still working?
Yeah.
Where?
Independence. North Japan. Stuff like that.
I'd like to see how he is now. I'll have to see if I can find any videos of him.
Probably.
Recent.
YouTube. Yep. But it's one of those... The business of wrestling is about making yourself the star.
Like, I can remember, like, seeing stuff like Calgary Stampede Wrestling and whatnot, and seeing guys like, ooh, that guy was kind of cool, and I wonder why they never went anywhere. The only person I ever saw go anywhere who didn't already come in, like when the British Bulldogs came back there and whatnot, they were established. But I remember watching Chris Benoit in Stampede Wrestling before he'd moved up, before he'd even gone to Japan.
Yep.
I was a fan.
Yep.
And, you know,
well, he said when Benoit saw Dynamite Kid, and he goes, I want to be that. And Benoit, like, his career, like, copied Dynamite Kid almost step for step. And Benoit became just a massive star. And then that happened, such as it is.
Yep.
Like Dynamite was huge when he was in Japan. And as a junior heavyweight, Dynamite was a massive star for Japan. Then he came back to North America. Him and British Bulldog, they had great success. They, like I said, they had the thing that
one of the hottest tag teams of the 80s.
Absolutely, yeah. And then they became the stars. And then the 80s happened.
Of course, you got to have, you know, you can't be a top tag team without having good foils to work against. Right. When you have the Hart Foundation, you have Iron Sheik and Volkov, you know, you had some great tag teams of that era. Demolition.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you have to start, you got to have good guys to work with.
Absolutely. Like you said, you can't be a good guy without a great bad guy.
Yeah, I can remember when the first time I ever heard that Dynamite Kid was a huge singles wrestler in Japan. I'm like, what? No way, what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you see some of the stuff with Tiger Mask, the very first Tiger Mask. Oh, Sayama.
I think I watched one of those way back in the day.
Yeah, just so good. So athletic. It's like, that's what Japan is for.
We got to see, there was a show on TSN with Ed Whalen, the voice of Calgary Stampede Wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, where he would show other wrestling promotions, and every once in a while they would slip a Japanese match in there.
Yeah.
It was very rare, though. Mostly we would get NWA, something from Britain, Wild World of Sports or whatever it was called.
Wild World of Sports.
Yeah. Yep. And we would get like a TV, like a non-TV match from WWE.
Yeah.
WWF, sorry, at the time.
Yep.
But every once in a while they would throw in something from Japan. But it was somebody we would know.
Yeah. Dynamite, you know? or Owen or
it was somebody we know from over here who was over there, kind of thing. And it always just baffled me.
Yep.
They wrestle over there? What?
There's more wrestling? And like I said,
my young mindset was, they don't wrestle over there. That's all kung fu. Like,
so racist. So racist.
I was young. I didn't know any better.
No excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. But yeah, the whole idea is to become a star, make yourself a star, take advantage of the opportunity to make yourself a star in the ring.
That's going to make me look at AEW in a wholly different light. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't spoil the feelings it gives me, because I still love those guys.
I know. See, that's you're in an awkward position. Yeah, because
don't pull back the curtain anymore.
I'm smartening you up a little bit at a time, but you still have your markish tendencies buried deep in there.
Hey, I like what I'm going to like. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, that's the whole idea of different styles of wrestling and stuff like that.
I'm willing to look at other perspectives. Yeah. Like me and Shooter in regards to Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Okay. I hear those comments. I understand it. It just doesn't work for me.
No, because you have a bias that's inbred in you about.
Again, with Brock Lesnar, it comes from when he was there for the first time. We saw a lot more from him.
Yeah.
When he came back the first time, after his first getaway, all he seemed to do was punches, and suplexes. That's it. Yeah. We didn't see anything else. And
because he didn't have to.
But I didn't want to see that.
But that's not your call.
I know. I get that. But that's what didn't sell it for me.
Yeah.
Okay? Show me more I want more. I like guys who do different things. I like guys like Kenny Omega that can change up their style. I like that. When a guy can only work one specific way, not to say he can, but when that's all he was doing, that's what didn't sell it for me.
To me, is you saw the Suplex City and like suplex, F5. That's all he needed to do. Until he gets up into an opponent that makes him stretch that repertoire a little bit. To me, the marketing of Brock Lesnar is there's nobody on his level yet.
The way you just described it, you know what it reminded me of? Playing the fucking video game. You could just hit a certain combination of moves over and over and over again, and then hit your finisher, and the match was over.
Yeah.
I did it so many times. Yeah. And that's what Brock Lesnar reminded me of.
Yeah. And
that was kind of boring for me.
Okay. If you when you go from watching like Kenny Omega, Bucks, that kind of stuff, it's all action all the time, that kind of thing. The new wrestling is I'm upside down, and that kind of that's how I describe it.
Sure. So, yeah. I can't deny that.
No. But when you have a guy, you like that, did you?
How do you describe wrestling now? I'm upside down. Oh fuck, that's great.
That's a T-shirt, man.
It is. Hey, Matt or Nick.
No.
Which one?
No, copyrighted by me.
Okay, sorry.
Fuck my those guys. I got enough cash. I'm gonna make my own.
Oh, is this gonna be your shirt? Iron Mike Lutz, and on the back it says I'm upside down.
Yes. Just a generic wrestling shirt. Doesn't have to be personally branded, but
GWN. I'm upside down.
No, that wouldn't even be that. But you like that?
Oh fuck.
It's been a while since I broke you like that.
Oh, God damn it.
I can't believe you've never heard me say that before.
No, never. Oh. Like, I've heard the term flippy-doo.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, but not William upside down. And now I'm thinking, all I can think is, Guevara and Darby Allin, there was a lot of that. I don't know, the Bucks do a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
I guess we saw some of it with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Pac is upside down a lot.
Pac did that a bit, yeah. Fuck, there was a lot of it. Just about every match.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
See, now you have a new... My philosophy.
You might be ruining AEW for me. I'm just pointing that out.
I'm here to help, brother.
I got just two more matches on the Revolution card just to discuss real quick. Cody and MJF.
Okay.
Again, solid match. Questionable choices on a couple spots.
Well, you just...
And MJF got the win. Cody did not get his revenge.
No, see, they're going to stretch that out.
MJF is their best heel,
yeah,
hands down. One of the best heels
going. Like I texted you earlier, when you said he's their best heel. He's their only heel. Everybody else there is there to get themselves over with a crowd. MJF is there to get MJF over.
Mm-hmm.
MJF only cares about MJF, right?
Sure.
He's the only guy that will show his ass when it comes time to be the heel. Right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
He is the only heel in that promotion. Everybody else is a tweener at best.
Dark Order. Evil Uno.
Look, nobody cares about them. They're not.
Yeah, they weren't even on the main card. So you're right. Okay,
nobody gives a shit. It's undercard.
Sure. So you think you would call Jericho a tweener?
Yeah, because
well, you know what? Looking at his history, yeah, because he can flip a light switch and be in the good graces. So, so yeah, I get that. For straight up heels, you're right. Yeah,
there's so many people now want to be the cool heel, brushing up against being the baby,
being able to they want to work both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did I say earlier? You can't be a good guy unless you have a great bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
MJF is the perfect foil for Cody. Because
kind of like, Cena hasn't been a heel in a very, very long time. Everybody was saying, "Oh, they should turn him heel. They should turn him heel." You can't turn Superman bad.
No.
Once they got past the thugonomic bullshit, he became their top face and never looked back.
No.
Have there been very many guys that have always just been heel, period?
Heel straight up, you're probably looking at like Ivan Koloff. You're going to have to go real old school stuff.
Okay.
Like the Sheik, the original Sheik.
But nobody from like the 80s modern era kind
of? Not so much.
I'm hard pressed to come up with any. Bobby Heenan was probably a good example of a good heel. Freddie Blassie was always a heel. Sure.
Adrian Adonis.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like guys like that, they never really.
Sheik? Iron Sheik?
No. He's a clown. But the original Sheik, that dude was like legit terrifying.
Yeah.
And said he was the guy. Like when
Is Sabu actually related to him?
Yeah, he's his nephew.
Nephew?
Yep.
I know they always claim that, but you always want a legitimacy.
So for heels, you would have to go like Abdul the Butcher.
But nobody really passed the late 80s then.
No, because there was no real like person that you could hate. Like Piper was considered a heel,
but then the fans started to love him.
So cool for about the stuff that he did. And see, that's the problem with a heel. If you don't show your ass, if you don't do like the dastardly things, if you start doing like if you start telling the truth, if you start saying, well, Hulk Hogan is the biggest hypocrite everywhere. Say your prayers, eat, train, eat your vitamins. Look at the guy. He's obviously whatever. Mm-hmm. And the fans are going to go, hey, yeah, you're right. I like this guy because he's telling me the truth. I don't believe what this guy's saying. So when your babyface loses credibility, your babyface now becomes the de facto heel to the now babyface turned. The fans have turned. Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, started out as the ringmaster.
Yep.
As a heel. He was supposed to be Ted DiBiase's
chosen champion. Yeah.
Austin came in as a heel. It was that Royal Rumble where Austin 316 just says, I whipped your ass. Mm-hmm. The fans went, we like this dude no matter what. Boom. He became a babyface just like that.
Yep.
And to their credit, the WWE went, this has dollar signs written all over it.
Yep.
And they became billionaires because of that. If they had tried to say, nope, this is our plan, and Austin's going to still be a heel, nobody would have bought it. Nobody would have. He would have died on the vine before it even started. Now, Austin was the blue collar babyface tweener almost, because he didn't follow the rules, and like he's not Ricky Steamboat.
No,
not Ricky Steamboat. He was not Ric Flair either.
Okay. Yeah.
So now okay, you're going to go, okay, you mentioned Ric Flair. Now you mentioned I will mention the Four Horsemen as they were cool heels. Mm-hmm. Why? Dusty Rhodes.
Yep.
So when Dusty made the Four Horsemen, when that happened, Dusty positioned himself as the sympathetic babyface versus the quote unquote corporate whatever. The Four Horsemen were
the privileged
few. They were the elite. They were the white collar. They were the limousine flying, jet riding, whatever. The whole spiel. Dusty had sympathy, but he could also fight one-on-one, maybe even one-on-two. Mm-hmm. So it's like, when you look at a lot of new wrestling right now, a lot of stuff is broken and it doesn't make sense. This is why Jim Cornette has flying off the rails, because they do a lot of things that defy logic that has been around forever for professional wrestling. Like, okay, you have a heel and you have a babyface in the ring. Second heel shows up, both are beating down on the one babyface. You have one more babyface show up to make the save. Now, do you do a 2-on-2 fight? No. The heels powder. Why? Their advantage is now gone. Mm. So
they're not looking for an even fight.
No, they're not. They want to beat somebody down.
Right.
So when the odds get evened, out we go. Now, if you look at, I've seen this dozens of times, where you'll have two baby faces beating the shit out of one heel. Yeah.
I know you told me a story of that once.
Yeah. Does that make any sense?
No.
No. Why?
Because good guys don't work that way.
Right.
Or aren't supposed to.
They aren't supposed to have worked that way. Okay. Steve Austin came in and took these white hats and these black hats and smashed them all into shades of gray. That worked great for Steve Austin. When we're working in like the Germania Club and stuff like this, you need white hats and you need black hats. That is the best stories. Good versus evil, fighting for the thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, switching hats is okay?
Switching hats is fine. Sometimes it happens organically. The fans will do that for you. Or you do something accidentally and somebody's going like, that's not in his character. That's when you see that subtle heel change. And when the majority of the time, if you got two guys in the program and the heel starts to get over, you've screwed your program. Because your babyface is not sympathetic enough and he's not beating
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. He's getting shoved down your throat, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what they do, they can't seem to really, even though it seems like some of the fans are in, they just can't seem to get him over. It doesn't matter who they put him up against.
No, because it's not organic. No matter, okay, a promoter can push a dude, but it has to be in such a subtle way that the fans go, I like this guy, even though they don't like this guy. They have to believe that they're the ones that are driving that dude. Like Cena. Okay, you can't kill Superman. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Like, everybody was tired of Cena. And as soon as Cena left, Roman slotted right into that spot, and the fans were going like, there's nothing changed about this. Like, the names changed, but the position is exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So you have to organically move these people, like the fans are going to like who they like. Now, the problem when nobody wants to be a heel, a real heel. Uh-oh.
Just that empty beer bottle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nobody wants to be a real heel because nobody likes heels. Everybody likes to be liked. Right?
For the most part, yes.
For the most part, yes. MJF, if you like I said, he doesn't give a fuck about you. He's about MJF. Even Wardlow is about MJF.
There's one other top heel in the business right now. And to me, I can judge a heel if I legitimately don't like them.
That's the idea.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing their job well.
Yeah.
Jay White.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay White, one of the top heels in the business today because he does his job well because I can't stand the guy.
That's the whole idea.
I get it. And I've fallen for it.
Yeah. And because he's so good as a heel, and you want him to fall so hard, so fast, and he's just good enough to like, haha, fuck you. That's not going to happen.
That was MJF in that match with Cody.
Right. And then how mad did you get at MJF? Right?
Give him points for how he did it. The diamond ring.
Yep.
In the Trump and pop. And,
sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know what?
Whatever. No, it's not a clean.
The story's still not over.
Heels aren't supposed to win clean.
No.
So if MJF puts the thing on his and he punches whoever, like whatever, as long as it's not clean, it's good.
Yep.
Baby faces. Okay, here's used to be this. Baby faces do not submit. They fight and they struggle and they persevere. Heels can submit. That's fine. But MMA has blurred that line a little bit now. So you get like somebody putting you in like a legitimate hold. Yeah, you're gonna tap because like I don't want my arm broke, that kind of thing. So it's
not supposed to bend that way.
No, it's not supposed to, but it is, and that's bad. So it's those little subtle differences. Cornette is abrasive as fucking 2 grit sandpaper, but he's not wrong. There's certain ways that should be followed, like because it makes sense. There's no confusion. You look at NWA Power, you can see the white hats are over here, the black hats are over here, right? Okay, maybe you got Nick Aldis in the middle playing everybody.
I haven't watched it almost a month now.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm confused by what I've been seeing a little bit.
That confusion happened after Cornette left.
Well, it seems to have something to do with Marty.
But, okay, but
which was after Cornette left.
Yes. So Cornette, for good or whatever, said he has definite, like, this is, pro wrestling is white hats, black hats.
There's one exception to that in NWA Power. The question mark. That's the exception, which makes no sense. It almost makes me feel at times like it's the crowd fucking with them.
Yeah.
Because they love the question mark. Even though he's obviously being portrayed as a heel, the crowd fucking loves him.
Yeah. Well, see, okay.
And yes, it's a bad inside joke.
That's the whole thing.
I know.
That's the whole thing. Like that
but just,
that shit's
you're
not going to go
have
anywhere.
White hats and black hats.
Yeah.
Explain the question mark.
I see. Sometimes there's just goofy shit that slides through, and it is like,
and like, but it's working.
But
if it's
mid card, lower card stuff, you can do that. That shit flies below a certain level.
Right.
But when you get up to your upper card stuff, that doesn't fly.
Yeah, we're not going to see Nick Aldis taking the Mongrovian spike. No.
Not
Mongrovian spike.
Fucking
Mongrovian karate. Makes you chuckle.
It does. No, there is a spot for that. I do not disagree with that at all. But when you come to like your championships, that's where tradition plays out, where you like that's supposed to be the thing everybody in your promotion is trying to fight for. They want, if you don't want to be the champion, why are you there?
Yeah.
So, like, are you just? I don't like that's the logic hole that needs to be filled in a lot of wrestling. Like, everybody should be like, when you look at New Japan, there are clear delineations as where everybody is on that on the rankings.
Yep.
And to move up, you got to catch fire and start whipping ass. And then eventually you're going to hit a ceiling. And then that ceiling's usually Naito. Definitely Okada. Like, Okada is whatever.
Okada is Okada.
Okada is Okada. He is the top boss. He's the end boss. And you have to, nothing short of a miracle is going to beat the boss. Naito, how long did Naito struggle to get to that position? And it cost him almost everything to get to be able to do what he did.
Did they cancel the New Japan show with him versus Hiromu?
No, it's coming up.
It is? Okay. Yeah. I didn't click on the article, but I thought I saw something like they were canceling it.
Well, they canceled a bunch of shows because of the coronavirus.
Right.
So
but they didn't cancel that show.
I'd have to go back and look. I think
I couldn't find anything like on my usual wrestling site. Yeah. So
Twitter might have the best. Speaking of Twitter, if you want to join the conversation, at Shedquarters Pod on Twitter is where you can find me. Okay. The pause is for you to put your
at Count Beishi, I think it is. I don't use it all that often.
How long have you been doing this thing?
I know, but I don't use Twitter all that often.
Regardless.
At Count Beishi.
There you go.
Don't forget where we have the Facebook page. Again, I still get that confused. Yep. The Facebook page is on there.
We're Anchor FM, Google Play Store, basically anywhere that you can download a podcast, search for Shedquarters.
Including YouTube.
Yep. YouTube, yeah. Well, the audio is linked there. I'm not giving up on the video idea. I just need to fine tune.
Sure.
So take a drink. You're going to die.
You're getting dry all of a sudden.
Yeah. But, yeah. Wherever you look for podcasts, we're there. Dispatches from Shedquarters. Twitter, Shedquarters Pod. Facebook. Facebook.com, probably Dispatches from Shedquarters. It's a page, so look first there. Yep. You got anything?
Nope.
All right.
You do, though.
I do, yeah. March 8th.
1 week.
1 week. Well, 1 week from when we're recording this.
Yes.
So, Germany Club, Hamilton, Ontario, 863 King Street, 1:30. I believe the doors open. Show starts at 1:45. Okay. Tickets available at the door. This is a part of the proceeds of the gate is going to the Hamilton Sledgehammer Sledge Hockey Club. There's Murder Mittens just showed up. Yeah. Ow. What are you doing?
Better than me.
Yeah. So, in support of the Hamilton Sledgehammer Sledge Hockey Club, junior age boys and girls, come on out. We'll hope to see you at the show. And
Mike's going to have a scrap. CK Savage, you're on notice. You're going to get whooped.
Yep. You're going to get got. So for another week from Dispatches from Shedquarters, this has been Mike
and Jason.
We will talk with you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.